Yeah, hey, this is Blind Guy doing stuff, and we're putting on a little video today, and haven't put one out in the past couple days, and sorry about that. Having a little technical difficulties. So Friday I went to record a video and it was muted or something, the microphone. I really worked on it for a couple days and couldn't get it to work. And I guess it's a Christmas miracle because now it's working, and it's Monday, the day after Christmas, December 26th, and I figured today we'd talk about some things like, Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas. Now, if you're just watching this video out there and you see, oh, this guy's going to talk about happy holidays and Merry Christmas, it's like, who cares? Those are just four words. And why does it matter happy holidays or Merry Christmas? Well, let me tell you something, it does matter. Because this whole thing about Merry Christmas and happy holidays was invented by some people on, I guess you'd call them the right wing, as sort of a distraction away from things that do matter, like labor and wages and pay and in the environment and all the things out there that really do matter. This thing called political correctness, or this idea that somehow political correctness is a big problem, sort of was invented. And so now today, the words Merry Christmas and the words Happy Holidays are politically charged, and saying them um, in the wrong company can probably get you in some trouble. So really got started. I mean, I remember all the way back in the 80s, and I remember my grandfather a little bit back in that time. And because, when you don't really remember your grandparents when you're younger, but then when you get older, you start hearing things they say. And one of the things my grandfather said, and I heard him and my mom talk about it, was how political correctness was destroying this country. And that was all the way back in the 90s and probably late 80s. I'm not exactly sure the time. But where did he get this idea from? Now, I'm pretty sure that he personally got that idea from Rush Limbaugh. He was a he listened to, and matter of fact, I even think he might even said that Rush Limbaugh says politically correctness is going to be the death of this country. And so this idea sort of was planted, and I don't know where it came from before then, but planted by basically right wing radio and later on Fox, so-called Fox News. They put out this thing called political correctness. Now, what is being politically correct? Well, it's kind of complicated because what's politically correct to one person is not politically correct to another person. And this would be easily demonstrated if you pay attention. So right now, so politically correct is just not saying. So if you're being politically correct to the people that find this a problem, I personally don't find political correctness as any kind of problem at all. It's not something I even pay attention to. But if this is something that bothers you, it's when people use words that don't try to offend other people on purpose. So if you call an easy example is back in the 60s and 70s would be it was okay to call women's broads or all the other terms they had for women. Now those kind of things are unacceptable. I even watched a movie the other day. You can catch this in movies a lot. Um, where at one time it was sort of okay to say one thing, and now sort of society frowns on saying those things. Like, the N word is a big example of being politically correct. You know, saying, calling people gay instead of the F word is another reason being politically correct. So these are examples, but it's really just something that has just been invented. Because being politically correct to me is just basically listening and being nice to people. So if somebody says, hey, I don't want to be called that word, then a reasonable person would say, oh, okay, no problem. You don't want to be called that? It bothers you, you find it offensive? Okay, that's okay with me. But we're not apparently dealing with reasonable people because this has been pumped into their head for 30 years that political correctness is a big problem. And now let's get back to Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. So it was sort of invented also, they had this thing, the war on Christmas. That is, they're trying to take Christmas out of everything. Are you kidding me? I mean, Christmas, it's creeping all the way in October, you start hearing the Christmas commercials. So the idea that there's some kind of war on Christmas, and that some people are trying to get rid of Christmas out of our society is just frankly, I, I don't want to. I'm not going to be politically correct here. If you actually think that Christmas is being taken out of our society somehow systematically, then you're just not that bright. You're not paying attention good, and you need to really look within yourself and kind of see what's going on in your life that you actually can believe that that is happening, because Christmas is everywhere. It's everywhere you look. From October, the day after Christmas, it'll still be going on a week from now. We'll be talking about Christmas. And so over time, some people have said, hey, Christmas has this time of year has to do a lot of different things. Solstice, New Year's, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, the Jewish, the Orthodox Christians have a whole different kind of Christmas that goes on way past Christmas, past the New Year. So over time, people started saying happy holidays to encompass the whole time of year. And I like Merry Christmas. Again, I care less about politically correct. Merry Christmas. Like the other day, I went to church on Christmas Eve. When I came out of there, everybody was saying Merry Christmas. Well, socially at that time, I'm going to say Merry Christmas. The next day, I posted on my Facebook page, Happy Holidays, because there's a whole lot of people that have not just one thing. Happy Holidays encompasses everything, and it includes New Year's too. So, if you're thinking correctly, you should be able to use Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas anytime, anywhere, and there shouldn't be any kind of repercussions. But there is. Mr. Trump said back about a month ago that, oh well, it's going to be okay to say Merry Christmas in my United States, implying that somehow now it's not okay to say Merry Christmas. So watch what happens. This would be a real easy experiment to to watch and see what the insanity of political correctness. Because now that Trump is president and all that sort of ilk of people feel empowered, all the people that think political correctness is some kind of problem, now, a year from now, people like myself who want to say happy holidays, we will be politically incorrect for saying happy holidays. All the people that say Merry Christmas will be looking at us going, oh, that's offensive saying happy holidays. And they'll make up the whole sort of back narrative that somehow it's okay to say Merry Christmas now and happy holidays is offensive. So it's coming. This sort of shows the stupidity of political correctness, because it comes and goes. To one group, something's politically correct. To another group, it's not. And again, it is something that has been invented for people to get distracted from real issues. And we have a lot of real issues. What different groups are being called, it doesn't really matter in a negative way. Now, here's another one that we want to talk about since we're talking about politically correctness, and this is the one that just drives the right wing crazy, is the Islamic terrorist. And we just don't call them Islamic terrorists, we call them just terrorists. Well, why is that? Well, this is real easy. And here's the thing. I can say this right here into this video and then speak to somebody who has this belief 20 minutes from now, and it's like they won't even hear it. ISIS has said in many, many documents that it wants to have a war with the West. It wants Islam to be at war with Christianity and the rest of the world. They want to pick a fight so then they can say, hey, look at us. We're the rulers. We're the carrier of the torch of Islam. We're Islamic terrorists. Everybody's coming to fight us. They're picking on us. Come be on our side because everybody's trying to take out Islam. Come here because we're going to protect you, Islamic people around the world. So when you call it Islamic terrorism, when you put it into that sort of box, you're doing the work for those guys. That's what they want. You are using their propaganda. You are using it. When in fact, these people aren't terrorists. They're just nutty. They're just nutbags. Just like all the other criminals in the world. Like the guy that ran into the market in Germany. The guy just has a screw loose. He's a nut. I mean, you can go back through my videos. I talk about some of the nutty stuff going on here in Seattle. There is just some kind of crazy thing that you could just easily put, okay, this is a terrorist. That is terrorism right there, because a lot of it is terrorizing. A lot of it makes you kind of afraid to leave your house at a, there's going to be all the different kinds of things that go on in the world. You're going to be all of a sudden put in the middle of those things. So there's terrorism and crazy stuff going on all the time, but using the word Islamic terrorism is playing into that particular group's hands, and you're doing their work for them. And the right wing, they just hate that. They say, "Oh well, you're being politically correct." No, we are actually listening, and we're actually paying attention and using and putting together a strategy to try to deal with something. It has nothing to do with being politically correct. And if you believe that, then you really need to look where you get your information from and how you are being manipulated. Because the words terrorism, the words Islamic, all this stuff, even Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all these words have sort of been pre-programmed through our language to mean things. And the powers that be, they use them as weapons. And so they're using this politically correct thing. They're using it against the people. They're getting everybody riled up, and it's meaningless. It's just a big distraction. So that's my video for today on politically correctness. If somebody, I wanted to talk about microaggressions and things like that, because that's another thing. I'm making another video on that because that's just another thing drives folks crazy. So if people want to be politically correct, fine. If somebody wants to say Merry Christmas, say Merry Christmas. Somebody wants to say Happy Holidays, say Happy Holidays. Who cares? Just be nice. That's really what it comes down to. Just be nice to other people. Listen to them. So that's my video for today on politically correctness. I hope everybody's having a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays and a Happy Hanukkah and a Happy Kwanzaa and everything else, and just having a good day. And the New Year's is coming up. 2017 is coming. 2016, another death in 2016. George Michaels died. I'll make another video on why I think that's just more of that's going to be happening. So, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Blind Guy doing stuff. Hit subscribe if you like my video. And if not, have a good one.
Studio mode.
Bye-bye.
Stop recording button. Studio mode checkbox checked. Setting. Studio mode. Stop recording button. Studio mode checkbox. Studio mode check. Stop recording button.